Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about this new shawl pattern. It is kind of not new because it was published in the Knitter last year, but I have now released the pattern as a single pattern. More about that in a minute. But before we start, if you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns, I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through our website YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. If I sound like I'm not very well, if I sound like I have a stinking cold, and if there are a few dodgy edits in this video, it's probably because I'm editing out a bit of a coughing, sneezing fit. I've had a cold, well, what I thought was a cold for the last week, and over the weekend I've started coughing quite a lot, so it may be something worse than a cold, but we've seen the doctor today, and we've been given antibiotics, so hopefully I'll be feeling better soon. I don't feel ill. I don't feel like I need to be in bed ill, but I do sound very bunged up and I do cough, so, and I sound a little bit wheezy. So if I don't sound 100%, that is because I'm not, but I actually feel fine. So we'll go ahead with my planned schedule for today and see how we get on. So apologies for any dodgy edits or the fact that I sound like I'm not very well. This shawl is called the Hibiscus shawl, and it was first published in the Knitter magazine issue 188. This version is knitted in For the Love of Yarn merino single lace in the colourway powder pink. When the editor of the Knitter commissioned this design, she basically gave me free rein as far as yarn was concerned, and I contacted For the Love of Yarn and said, just send me what you think looks good. And she obviously knows how much I like pink. She sent me this lovely pink yarn, which I'm very, very excited about. It is beautiful. It is actually a little bit darker than it looks on my screen. It's very sunny today, so I had to close my curtains, and bright pink is a difficult color to photograph and to film, so it is a little bit darker than what it looks on my screen, I think, but it's kind of fluorescent pink, semi-solid. There are a few slightly darker speckles in it, and I absolutely love this colorway. It looks amazing. I'm going to show you a different version in a minute, knitted in a different yarn, but first let's look at this one and let's look at the construction method. So this is a crescent shawl, and it uses a combination of increases along the edges of the shawl and increases across the center of the shawl, so increased rows, also quite often known as Elizabeth Zimmerman's pie formula, which was a way that Elizabeth Zimmerman, I don't know whether she invented it, but she made it popular, to a way of creating like a semicircle or a circular shawl. And it basically means that instead of increasing regularly, you do your increases on specific eyelet rows, which you can see here, 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 here. I think that's it. But I also added increases to the beginning and the end of every row to create a crescent shawl. So it's a shawl that drapes really nicely across your body. It uses lace-weight yarn, and the yarn it uses has 800 meters per 100 grams. So only one skein of yarn. And it starts with a few stocking stitch and eyelet rows here, lace section, another increased row, and then this long lace section with an edging at the bottom. And there are different ways you can wear this shawl. I've filmed a video, so I will insert that as well, and I'll also try and insert some photos in this video. The different ways you can wear it, but this one I've just tied it at the front. You can use a shawl pin, and you can also drape it around your neck so it looks more like a scarf than a shawl. Let me just show you what the fronts look like, and then I'll show you the other colour as well. So that's what the fronts look like. So they are curved, which you'll see in the video I will show you. Has like a diamond trellis pattern. You can just drape it over the shoulder like that as well. So different ways of wearing it. This yarn is a singles yarn, and it's 100% merino. It's incredibly soft. It's perfect for lace. It knits so beautifully, and it feels really nice and soft. And I really like this yarn for lace, and I love For the Love of Yarn, India dye based in Scotland. I love her colorways and her yarns, they're amazing. I'll make sure I link her in the description box below this video. This is the second version. This was knitted in Marnosol Uruguay Merino. It's a lace weight yarn from Marnosol Uruguay, and I do stock this in my online shop in a selection of colours. I don't know if I at the moment, at the time of filming this, whether I have one skein left in that colourway or whether I'm sold out, but I do have other colours. I was a little bit concerned when I chose this colourway because in the skein it looked quite variegated. It looks less variegated in the shawl. Sometimes a yarn that is too variegated will obscure the lace, and I don't think this does. Partly because the variation is fairly gentle, I guess, and also partly because it's such an open airy pattern that I think it actually works quite well. But I wanted to show you two different options so you can see a more semi-solid version with the pink one and a more variegated version with this one. But normally I would say with variegated yarns just be a bit careful with all of the lace patterns because it can obscure it a bit. But I actually don't think this one does. I really like this one, and you'll see that from the video I've shown you as well. So it's the same shawl, exactly the same. Number repeats everything. It has 800 meters per 100 gram. This one is also a singles yarn, so the same as the other one. They're both singles yarn. They both have 800 meters per 100 gram. My shawls are normally designed to use about 90% of the yarn available. I usually allow about 10%, sometimes a little bit less for lace weight yarns as a kind of safety margin. They both feel really, really nice and soft, and they're lovely to knit with. And this is a very good shawl if you already have some experience knitting lace. If you're a complete lace beginner and you've never knitted lace before, or you've knitted lace but you haven't knitted in a really fine yarn before, then you might find this a little bit of a challenge. In that case, I would recommend that you use lifelines and stitch markers. I have videos or blog tutorials, I'm not quite sure, that where I talk about how to use stitch markers and lifelines to help you keep track of where you are in your lace knitting. So I'll make sure I link those below. So if you go below this video and just click where it says more or show more, all my links will be there and you can go and check it out. This video is going to go live on YouTube on the 7th of May. I currently have a 20% discount on from my online shop, but it ends today. Technically it ends at midnight, but you can still use it tomorrow morning. Because I'm about to go away soon, I'm going to close my online shop on Wednesday morning, probably sort of between 9 and 10. I will close my online shop Wednesday the 8th of May, and it then won't reopen for 2 weeks, or nearly 2 weeks. So if you're watching this when it goes live and you fancy some of this yarn, then you can grab it at 20% off. I'll put the details below this video. If you're watching it first thing Wednesday morning and you're in Europe, you might still be okay, but if you're watching it later and you hop over onto my online shop and you find that you can't, the yarn's there but you can't add anything to a basket, that's because my online shop will be closed for a couple of weeks, and I'll just be aware of that. But if you're quick, you might be able to get a skein of this if you want to. The pattern is available from Payhip and Ravelry. On Ravelry, you will have two options. You can either order the ebook, which is directly from the Knitter magazine, and I assume that includes all the patterns that was in that issue of the magazine. I think it's something like $6.99 plus whatever VAT is payable in your country if you're in Europe. My single pattern, which is just this pattern, is also available from Ravelry and is £5, and that's just this pattern. So obviously, if you want the other patterns, the bundle from the Knitter is better value, really. But if you want just this pattern, you might want to buy the single pattern. But if you're wondering why there are two options there, that's why. So the ebook option is a collection of patterns directly from the Knitter. The single pattern for £5 is goes directly to me because that's me selling that pattern. So that's on Ravelry. Ravelry will add any sales tax or VAT that's payable in your country. That's something that goes directly to the government of your country. Sorry, the lighting has changed. It's very sunny outside today, and I think it's just going to be overcast. It's going to be dark in here. So I do apologize for the change in lighting. It's also available from Payhip. On Payhip, the pattern is just available as a single pattern directly from me. So you can choose where you want to buy it, but I just want to point out the fact that on Ravelry you have two options between the single pattern and the ebook from the Knitter, just in case you're wondering what the difference is. The single pattern is directly from me and I get all the money from that, apart from any fees payable obviously and VAT and that kind of thing. the ebook, that goes to the knitter, and then I get a cut of that. On Payhib, it's just my single pattern that's available. I hope you enjoyed a quick look at this hibiscus shawl. If you have the knitter issue 188, you will already have the pattern. If not, you can go and get it from Ravelry or Payhib at the moment. I will put all the links below. I will link this yarn. I will link Lisa's website for the love of yarn. I don't know if she has this colorway available. The yarn details are on the pattern page, and I will link for the love of yarn below, but I don't know whether she has that colorway available at the moment. But if you particularly want that colorway, just get in touch with her and I'm sure she can help you out. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, ask them below this video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.